Hello, welcome to Anita the Pedagogue channel. Today we continue with the story Changes by Ama Ata Aidoo. We are looking at the plot analysis and summary of the story. Let's begin with the beginning, the exposition. The story commences with the main character, Essie, a statistician with the Department of Urban Statistics. She is forced to go to Linga Hideaway Agency to check on her flight bookings when she meets Ali Konde, the company's owner, who is such a fine gentleman. He is attracted to Essie and begins to shower her with gifts occasionally. The couple, Essie Sechi and Oko Sechi, and their daughter Ojanoa are introduced. The daughter grapples with the feedback from her parents' fight while she is eating breakfast. Oko demands that Essie have another child, which Essie declines. According to Oko, his friends laugh at him, which doesn't make him man enough. Even though Essie tells him he chooses whom he befriends, he pounces on Essie and rapes her to show his masculinity and superiority. What infuriated Essie was his gesture of Oko taking the cloth, leaving her completely naked, and disrespected unapologetically. Essie feels horrible and violated the whole time at work that day. She ponders and decides to divorce his husband on account of marital rape. We are introduced to Opokuya and her husband Kubi, who go through an episode of their usual fight over who drives the car to work that day. Even though Opokuya needs the car more due to her job as a nurse and a mother who has errands to run, Kubi often wins the argument and gets to use the vehicle. This shows her challenges as a professional woman and mother, and how inconsiderate her husband, who should be her support system, is. At the close of work, when she waits for Kubi at the Hotel 20th Century, she meets her best friend Essie. The two chat extensively about their life. Essie shares her divorce from Oko with Opokuya, and Opokuya shares about her children. She later sees Ali, introduces him to Opokuya, and discloses the gifts she has been receiving from him. Ali Konde is a rich man who hailed from Bamako but lived in Nima, a town in Accra, Ghana, but claimed citizenship from several other African countries. Unlike his father Musa, he preferred mature women and had no use for young virgins. He met his wife Fuseina at the teacher training college at Atebubu. He later married her and immediately left for London to go to school. He later relocated Fuseina and his son to London for about 3 years, before they finally returned to Ghana. Upon return, Ali convinced Fuseina to abandon her teacher job to care for the family, while Ali offered her a big store. The issue of gender stereotype and male dominance is evident here, as Fuseina's dream of pursuing higher education is truncated, together with her desired profession. The rising action of changes is the start of Ali and Essie's affair. Essie and Ali begin to see each other frequently, and their relationship grows as they become very fond of each other. Ali visits Essie often and sends her numerous gifts. Meanwhile, his frequent travels and commitment to Fuseina leave Essie alone sometimes. On one of his visits to Essie's, he proposes to Essie with a ring and demands she wear the ring. Essie probes if Fuseina is aware of his proposal, but it upsets Ali, who clearly shows he wants to lay claim over Essie and to show she is taken. The two discuss the cultural demands of the marriage, and a date is fixed for Ali to go and meet Essie's family to ask for her hand in marriage. Opokuya visits Essie, and Essie shares the news of her impending marriage with Opokuya, who shares her thoughts on a polygamous marriage. Issues of seniority and the need to make Fuseina her friend are thoughts that never crossed Essie's mind. Essie also shares how her mother and grandmother feel disappointed in her failed marriage with Oko and her desire to be a second wife now. My mother thinks with all this education I've had, I should have everything better than she had. I deserve better than someone's husband. Ali goes to see Essie's folks with his deputy at Linga Hideaways, but he is turned away because he failed to bring a recognizable member of his family. Opoku visits Esi, and Esi shares the news of her impending marriage with Opoku, who shares her thoughts on a polygamous marriage, issues of seniority, and the need to make Fusena her friend. But these thoughts never crossed Esi's mind. Esi also shares how her mother and grandmother feel disappointed in her failed marriage with Opoku and her desire to be a second wife now. In quotes, "My mother thinks with all this education I've had, I should have everything better than she had. I deserve better than someone's man." Later, Ali goes to see Esi's folks with his deputy at Linga Hideaway, but he is turned away because he failed to bring a recognizable member of his family, but a mere co-worker. Ali returns to speak to his folks at Nima, and they accompany him to see Esi's family. They were disappointed he didn't come to them initially, but offered to help convince Fusena to accept her second marriage, even though she had earlier reported Ali to them. Esi and Ali's marriage is approved and he returns home, but Ali fails to show up at her place as promised. Ali visits Esi on New Year's Eve, but Oko and Ojanwa also visits the home. Oko fights Ali, and Esi takes her daughter and leaves for Opoku's house that day. After hearing Esi's story, Opoku comforts her, and Kubi checks on Esi's house and Oko. He returns that all is well, and Ali later brings the Dankwas a present to make up for the trouble. 6 months after the incident, Ali and Esi travel to Bamako. Ali's family welcomed Esi after Musa had initially rejected her. They spent some quality time together before returning to Accra. Ali begins to visit Esi less and less. Esi starts to feel lonely and dejected. She begins to go through depression due to Ali's absence and her inability to be with Ojanwa due to the harsh treatment of her mother-in-law, who practically questions why she wants her own child. Eventually, she has to take tranquilizers. She spends the next Christmas alone without enjoying the festivities. On the next New Year's Eve, Ali shows up with a car as a bribe and leaves immediately afterwards. Esi drives and visits Opoku, who is excited and envious about her car. She demands to buy Esi's old car, and even though Esi hesitates, she agrees. Meanwhile, deep down, Esi is not excited about the new car. She waits for commitment from Ali, not just gifts. Ali visits Esi frequently when the new year begins, but that doesn't last. He sends gifts worldwide while giving excuses for going home to be with his wife and children most of the time. Esi loses interest in the marriage and decides to call it quits. She tells Ali, "I can't go on like this." When Opoku finally visits her to pick her old car, which has been refurbished, she narrates her breakup to Opoku, who is too excited to live with Esi's old car anyway. Kubi comes to look for Opoku after she has left and meets Esi in a sorrowful state. He tries to comfort her but begins to kiss her. Just as all that is going on, Esi recounts her friendship with Opoku and pushes Kubi away before he unzips. At the end of the story, Esi doesn't divorce Ali. However, they continue to be lovers while Ali continues his womanizing, which has become evident all over town. This brings us to the end of our summary and analysis of Changes, a Love Story by Ama Ata Aidoo. In this playlist, you will find the themes of the story Changes as well. Until I come your way again, keep learning and be the best version of yourself.